From MTN News, this is Montana This Morning.
Crews have reached another milestone on a major $127 million project. We're going to be taking a tour of the new Billings Bypass.
The prosecution's star witness takes the stand today in the criminal trial against former President Donald Trump. I'm Naomi Ruckham in New York with how Michael Cohen's testimony could shape the case moving forward.
In 2020, most high school students didn't get a graduation due to COVID. I'm Cassidy Powers, here to tell you how 4 years later, those students finally get to walk the stage mask-free.
Alrighty, it is 6 o'clock on this Monday morning. Jane McDonald and Matt Elwell with you. Well, what a lovely weekend for graduation.
Graduation, they got the Northern Lights, beautiful weather, it was warm. So much going on.
Yeah, I mean, what a way to kick off this next chapter of life for so many of these Bobcats.
Right. A lot of photos coming in. I wanted to share one or two while I was sitting here. This one from Jeff Krogstad. Beautiful colors. I mostly saw green. I saw some purples and reds here and there, but there were a lot of great colors with the Northern Lights.
Stunning.
So few times that we actually get the opportunity to see it, where the clouds are not blocking it or whatever. We got to see it this weekend for a couple of days. Temperatures into the 30s and 40s this morning. The afternoon, I do expect to see some isolated thunder showers develop well after the noon hour, but through the afternoon and evening, you'll see at least some showers out and about. Daytime highs doing quite well today. I expect to be back into the 70s, a couple of late day showers. The clouds are thickening up tonight as well. I'm going to talk more in depth about what you can expect for the next week. It's a little up and down. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes.
All right, thank you very much, Matt. Now it's officially road construction season here in Montana, and crews have reached another milestone on a major $127 million project to connect the Billings Heights to Lockwood. Our David J. takes us on a tour of the new Billings Bypass, which is tentatively set to open just a little more than a year from now.
This is the Yellowstone River Bridge on the Billings Bypass project. This is the walkway and riding path. Over in that direction, they have the railroad bridge, and they expect to have that done in July of next year. At that point, there will be an open access going from Lockwood up to the Heights.
The long-awaited Billings Bypass may still be a year away from seeing traffic. But this is a sneak peek at what the new route will look like.
This project's going pretty smooth this year.
Once complete, the roughly 5.5-mile long bypass will connect Interstate 90 in Lockwood to Highway 312 in the Billings Heights and include new bridges. This one over the Yellowstone River is already finished. Crews started Phase 3, the railroad overpass, in March.
We started with the construction of the embankment and started intermediate piers for the new bridge that's going to go over Colson Road and the railroad tracks.
James Stevenson is the engineering project manager for the Montana Department of Transportation. He says construction on the railroad overpass bridge is expected to be completed in the summer of 2025.
So when this phase is done here, then it'll be open to the traveling public and they'll be able to access the bypass, go up to 5 Mile or onto Mary Street.
The bypass is a 6-phase project. Phase 1 and Phase 2 have already been completed.
It's a really important project.
Lisa Olmstead is the project communications manager with Dell Engineering, the company that designed the project. She says the Billings Bypass will ultimately bring more than convenience and a quicker route.
Imagine if you need an ambulance in the north ends of the Heights, or if you have a job in Lockwood, work in the Heights. So there's a lot of, like safety functionality for the connection, economic functionality, just general traveling functionality.
Construction has not yet started on phases 4, 5, and 6, the Johnson Lane interchange, the road from the interchange to the railroad overpass bridge, and a new Mary Street. Those will not be needed to open the bypass.
It's really hard to see this shiny new bridge sitting unused, so we're really excited to open it to the public.
Stevenson says with no traffic and starting from scratch, it's been an enjoyable project.
This is a milestone that most of my crew probably won't see in their career any other time. Building a new alignment where there's not one been previous, and having a project that lasts this long or the different phases, it's quite a feat.
In Billings, David J., MTN News.
Now on the national scene today, former President Donald Trump is due back in a Manhattan courtroom after hitting the campaign trail in New Jersey over the weekend. The prosecution's star witness, Trump's former fixer, Michael Cohen, is expected to take the witness stand and give testimony describing the circumstances of his so-called hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels ahead of the 2016 election. Trump's lawyers are expected to question his credibility. CBS News' Naomi Ruckham has more on what to expect today from New York.
I'm being forced to endure a Biden show trial.
Former President Donald Trump railed against his Manhattan criminal trial to a crowd of supporters in New Jersey over the weekend. Today, in court, he's expected to come face to face with his former fixer, Michael Cohen, the man at the center of the prosecution's case.
I think that Michael Cohen's testimony will be fire and brimstone.
Cohen is expected to lay out his account that he paid adult film star Stormy Daniels $130,000 to hide an alleged past sexual encounter with Trump ahead of the 2016 election. Trump faces charges of falsifying business records to cover up his reimbursement to Cohen.
He really feels that it is up to him to be able to close this all up and deliver a verdict of guilty.
Trump has denied all wrongdoing. His lawyers argue that Cohen is not a credible witness, pointing out that he admitted to lying to Congress and that Cohen went to prison after pleading guilty to charges related to the payments.
Are you ready to testify?
Yes.
A year ago, Cohen told CBS News that he lied to Congress to benefit his former boss and that he's not out for vengeance.
This is solely about accountability.
Cohen has publicly discussed the trial as recently as last week. On Friday, Judge Juan Merchan instructed prosecutors to tell the star witness to stop talking. Naomi Ruckham, CBS News, New York.
And with Michael Cohen expected to take the stand, prosecutors are now believed to be in the home stretch of laying out their case. On Friday, they said they could potentially rest by the end of the week. Now, a little bit closer to home, we've reached a key milestone in Montana's 2024 primary election, as hundreds of thousands of ballots are now in the mail to voters across the state. MTN senior political reporter Jonathan Ambarian takes a closer look at those numbers.
On Friday morning, a truck arrived here at the City-County building in Helena as counties across Montana began sending out their mail ballots for the June primary election. Election officials went through to find voters who changed their addresses after ballots were printed. They then placed them in dozens of trays, loaded those trays onto the truck, and took them to the post office. In Lewis and Clark County, mail ballots went out to around 34,000 voters Friday. That's almost 82% of the more than 41,000 active registered voters in the county. In the 2022 general election, more than 500,000 voters across Montana received mail ballots. They returned more than 375,000 of them, roughly 80% of all the votes cast in that election. Lewis and Clark County leaders said voters should start seeing their ballots in their mailboxes in the coming days. If you're expecting a mail ballot and don't get it by the end of next week, they encourage you to contact the elections office. Mail ballots must be received by 8 p.m. on Election Day, June 4th, in order to count. Multiple parties' ballots and have to choose one and only one to vote on. All voters are going to receive a Republican, Democratic, and Green Party ballot, and those in the Western Congressional District will also get one for the Libertarians. In Helena, Jonathan Ambarian, MTN News.
And Friday morning, Montana State University held its 2024 spring commencement ceremony, but this graduation was special for most. Our Cassidy Powers talks to this year's graduates about how 4 years ago they lost their high school graduation experience due to COVID.
In 2020, most high school students graduated 6 feet apart wearing face masks. Luckily, 4 years later, their college graduation looked much different.
Definitely, I'd say the college experience kind of had nowhere to go but up from the fall of 2020.
Hans Skovlin is from Missoula and graduated from Hellgate High School in 2020, when COVID was at its peak. I asked him how his high school graduation was.
Well, we were all masked up and it was just, people were pretty cautious still. I had friends who didn't go, which was too bad.
Hans was one of the lucky COVID seniors that got any sort of graduation. Hayden Owen tells me his high school graduation?
We had some sort of kind of like a parade, but it wasn't really a real graduation.
And Heidi Kniebel tells me,
my high school graduation was outside. None of our families were there.
Which was devastating to these students in 2020. But 4 years later, it's made their college graduation even more special.
It's just nice to be able to celebrate with family and have everyone come in and support us.
These graduates tell me the biggest difference between graduating during COVID and today's ceremony, being able to wave to their family as they walk across the stage.
It's a super cool experience to just be here, all the friends, all the family. You know, it's something that we didn't really get in 2020.
And as for Hans Skovlin, who's a third-generation Bobcat, well, he just graduated with a bachelor's degree in history, as well as commissioning as a second lieutenant in the U.S. Air Force. What does it mean to you to be able to have this graduation today?
It means the world. I can't believe 4 years has flown by, but I feel like I've earned it, and I think all of my peers have too.
In Bozeman, Cassidy Powers, MTN News.
Pretty amazing thing. Thank you very much, Cassidy. Now, over the weekend, we celebrated those with one of the more difficult jobs in the world. Of course, that being moms. Becoming a new mom is one of the most joyous moments in a life, but for Montana mothers, their experience was anything but easy. Postpartum mood disorders are said by some studies to affect anywhere from 30 to 75% of new mothers. And as MTN's Marcus Kokova reports, it's something these two say no one should be afraid to speak about.
I'm a wife and I'm a daughter and I'm a sister, but I'm probably more proud to be a mom than I am really anything else right now.
For Jenny Mack and her daughter Stevie,
she had, fairly straightforward pregnancy and delivery.
Motherhood didn't start as expected.
She had reached out and was really struggling mentally and emotionally.
I was just sobbing and I was like, I don't know how I can be so exhausted and not be able to sleep.
Reality simply didn't align with what had been anticipated.
You might have this idea of how you should feel, but when you don't feel that way, you kind of feel let down.
But Ashley Jones, a midwife with Intermountain Health, had firsthand experience with what the Mack family was going through.
I struggled with postpartum anxiety and depression. I remember that feeling of guilt.
Something not everyone understands.
Other women in my family were like, your hormones are already out of balance, like you don't need to be on anything.
Together, they were able to get Jenny and Stevie the help they needed.
The last couple of weeks, we saw her for her annual visit, and she's doing so well that she was ready to start weaning off of her postpartum anxiety medication.
There's a lot of pride and a lot of happiness and joy in being a mom.
Help, they say, no one should feel ashamed to ask for.
Unless people know what you're going through, they can't help.
A lot of people probably struggle more than people know because nobody wants to share about it.
Marcus Kokova, MTN News.
Yes, such important things to know for new mothers or expectant mothers
and
out
just
there.
To be aware.
Yep, definitely. Now, before we head into a break, I mean, talk about being aware. I mean, fire season is right around the corner. We had sort of a dry winter, kind of a weird pattern.
Yeah.
And so, well, these little guys, they may be our saviors. Now, when I say little, I mean they're about 3 feet in height because I'm talking about goats, goats and sheep.
They'll eat everything, right?
Anything that'll munch on some weeds. These are who we're highlighting today. Now, these goats, hundreds of them, they were spotted munching on some vegetation actually around the Ronald Reagan Presidential Library and Museum to protect it from any fires that could be ravaging the California coast.
Which we heard plenty about the last few years.
Absolutely.
And I know that this is not uncommon. We have some areas around here. You'll get some sheep going in, doing some mitigation, fire mitigation.
Sure.
I've seen that over near the Gallatin River, a couple different places. So
I love
that's cool.
It's a really awesome program. I mean, I think the goats love it.
They absolutely do.
They'll do that 9 to 5 every single day if they could. All right, 6:14. We're going to head into a short break here in Montana this morning. But when we come back, well, we are going over to the mining city because there is a pretty special girl who has become a top poet and writer for the state and went on to the national championship. You are not going to want to miss this awesome story that Megan Thompson has for us. We'll have that plus your top stories when we come back.